Hello family, and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Antonio, back with another video today. Saying hi to you guys. I'm in my backyard, just walking around. There's mad plants everywhere. Plants are good for you. They help recycle the oxygen. Yes, they help recycle the oxygen. Just wanted to reach out to you guys today. Make sure I show a little bit of consistency. Upload a new video today. Talk to you guys today about public speaking. Public speaking is an interesting one. It is a big one. A lot of people have a lot of fears in life. A lot of things that they're hesitant about. A lot of things that they fear, but apparently public speaking is like the biggest fear of them all. You know, I have fears myself. I had fear of public speaking early on in life. Sometimes it tries to rear its ugly head, but it's not much of an issue for me now. I had fear, arachnophobia of spiders at one point in my life. Not that much of a big fear anymore. It's just weird that something could have 8 arms and legs. Imagine a human being walking around with 8 arms and legs, and it was like, hey, give me a hug. And of course, a lot of people are afraid of heights. You know, people sleep and they dream about falling from high places or flying, and then they about to get ready to hit the ground, and then they jump up from their dreams. So there's a lot of fears that, you know, people have, whether they know it consciously or subconsciously. You don't want these things to rear its ugly head at the wrong time. So you want to be mindful, present, and aware of these different energies, of these different fears and things like that. But I mean, fear is fake, you know. It's valid at sometimes. You know, you see a situation, you know, like public speaking or speaking in front of the classroom, or talking to somebody important. Like, people get starstruck when they meet celebrities and things like that. You know, it's not as serious. It's not like there's an immediate sense of danger. It's not like, oh, you're gonna get stabbed, or you're gonna get shot up just because you fear speaking in public. No, that's not the case. I mean, we're all aware of what happened to Malcolm X, and you know, all these other people that got these. Wasn't there a president that got stabbed up or something like that? I don't remember. Maybe it was like a music award or something. You know, the rapper. Oh yeah, it was Jay-Z. He stabbed somebody. But it's not that big of a deal. Public speaking, normally what happens when people have a fear of public speaking, it's just anxiety. You know, everyone wants to be popular, but when all eyes are on them, they freeze up. You know, if some people can't read, you know, some people can't write, you know, some people don't have strong throat chakras, you know, some people, they just don't practice speaking out loud or singing in the shower. You know, again, it's a muscle that must be used. It is a muscle just like your bicep that must be exercised on the daily basis. So although when I was younger, I always had a fear of public speaking, I was always a smart youngster. You know, in elementary, I was a second grader that was put in a class with third and fourth graders that I was smarter than. So speaking in front of the class, you know, it was frightening at some points. Of course, you know, you're young. But you know, when you're sure about certain things, you don't have to second guess or fear those things, and that's the solution. When you have facts, you shouldn't be afraid to express those facts. But moving on from, you know, elementary and middle school and high school and things like that, being the popular quiet kid, or not even quiet, just being the popular weird kid, just having friends from all types of races, different walks, creeds, and religions. I was always the centerpiece amongst my friends. Then we go into college, where you spend 2 to 4 years researching a degree, and then, you know, the biggie is at the end of the at the end of your paper, you have to write your dissertation, or you have to do a presentation on the everything you learned within the past 2 to 4 years. And I mean, if you can't give a presentation, just the knowledge itself, if you don't know what you've learned within that 2 to 4 year span, what did you go to college for? Why did you get a student loan? So, you know, everyone in my classroom, you know, I went to school for information technology just because I knew that technology and computers is going to be the future. It was going to be the wave. I knew this 10 years ago. So when it came to the classroom and breaking down into groups, and people wanted to do solo projects, and, you know, writing your thesis and your mini book and things like that, you know, you had to give a presentation. So, you know, it wasn't an hour-long presentation. You know, I always say, if you went to college for 10 years, and you're not able to give a 1 hour or 2 hour presentation on what you learned throughout those 10 years, what was the point? But yeah, so it was a 15-minute lecture, which I had a standing ovation. I mean, at that point in my life, that probably was when I actually conquered my fears, because I was 19, and at the age of 19, you know, there was a crazy hurricane storm that hit Florida. My friends decided, yo, let's just go on a 2-week vacation and get out of here. We left South Florida, went up to North Florida to Disney World and Universal Studios, went on a bunch of roller coaster rides and things like that. So that's how I got over my fear of heights. And then once I got back and I went to school, got my education, got my associates and all that stuff for IT, we had to do the presentation. I did my good old presentation, and that's how I got over my fear of public speaking. So a lot of these fears I conquered as a young man. I was able to realize that fear is just a projection, just like hate is a projection of love. So, you know, it all depends on perspective and your perception of these different ideas and concepts, and even the timing, the situations, what the universe is presenting to you at that moment. So you always want to be mindful, present, and aware. Realize that fear is the lowest on the spectrum of love. Of course, love is at the top. You always want to stay at the highest vibrational frequency, which is love. That's going to make life easy for you. So don't fear, man. Everyone, you know, Moses, one of the greatest men in the Bible, he had an issue with speaking. He had a stuttering problem, a very bad stuttering problem. Most people don't know that. Most people think of Moses and they just think of this great leader or this great savior that just led the Israelites through the desert into the promised land, and that he just knew everything. Moses, you know, he was a smart man, but with everyone, they have a weakness. His weakness, he had a speech impediment. He couldn't talk, right? But when the Spirit came over him, he was able to deliver the message the way he needed to deliver that message. So let that be a lesson to you. Don't let the spirit of fear come over you. Let the spirit of Moses come over you. Practice your throat chakra. You know, you don't have to fear something that, you know, that's not even physical, that you shouldn't have to fear. Of course, the greatest challenges come from the metaphysical, but there's ways to surmount these giants, these so-called Goliaths. That's all they are. Stories in the Bible, those are parables. There's a lot of things in the Bible that you want to pay attention to. There's a lot of things in various religions that you want to pay attention to. But public speaking, public speaking shouldn't be a fear of yours. Trust me. If everyone feared public speaking, what's the point of being a human with no one talking to each other, no one being able to address each other? And it's funny because everyone wants a leader, but what do leaders do? They speak publicly amongst everyone. I am transitioning from one phase of my life to another. I am becoming a teacher. I am becoming someone that is able to absorb various degrees of knowledge and decipher it and disperse it amongst the people. And I cannot do that with a fear of public speaking. It's a joke to me at this point. It's a joke to me at this point. I actually like talking. Can't get enough of talking and ranting and speaking to people publicly. We'll see what the future holds for me. But for now, that's all I wanted to speak to you guys about today. Hopefully, I gave you a little bit of encouragement on public speaking. You know, it's not just about acting like you're bold and going on social media and typing up everything behind your keyboard. No. Actually get off the keyboard. Put pen to pad. Write something that you are proud of and want to speak over a bunch of people. That is how you get over your fear of public speaking. Spirit's telling me it's time to wrap up. So I'll talk to you guys later. You be safe. I'll match you with another one.